Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the last video, we have discussed about creating a ribbon chart. Now in this video, we are going to discuss about combined charts. And in the combined charts, we'll be discussing about two charts. So the very first chart is line and stacked column chart. And the second chart is line and clustered column chart. So when we say combined charts or when we are talking about, let's say line and stacked column chart, then it refers to a chart that will be consisting of a line chart and stacked column chart combined in one chart. And when we are talking about line and clustered column chart, it refers to a chart that consists of a line chart and clustered column chart combined in one chart. So now let's take an example to understand this. I will simply click here on plus icon to add a new page. And now I will rename this page. I'll simply double click on it and let's name it as line and stacked column chart. All right. Now, okay. So this is the page that we have. I will first of all click here on the blank area on the canvas, and then I will simply click here on this line and stack column chart, and it will add a blank chart for us, as you can see on the screen. I will further resize it. All right. Okay. So since we have already discussed that this is a combined chart, right? So for this combined chart, if you will first of all have a look here under the visualizations pane, so you can see here we have one x-axis and here we have two y-axis. One for column, that is column y-axis, and the other one is for line. So it is named line y-axis. In the column chart, first of all, let's say I want to represent the sales for different order dates. So I will simply first of all double click on this order date field from the data pane and will drag and drop it here in x-axis bucket. And I will now simply double click on the sales field under the data pane and will drag and drop it here in column y-axis bucket. I didn't put it here in line y-axis because in the column chart only I want to show the sales. That is point number one. Now let's move it here. And now, first of all, before discussing about the combined chart, there is one more functionality that I want to talk about. And that functionality is the feature to drill down in a given chart. Right. So as of now, you can see that since in our data set, we have data for 4 different years. That is 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. That's why you can see that the sales is being represented for these 4 different years on the chart, right? Let's say I further want to drill down and I want to know about the sales of the year 2017. So here you can see that at the top of this chart, we have this option, click to turn on drill down. So first of all, I will click here on this option and then I will simply click on 2017. So it will show you the quarter level data for this particular year. Now, let's say for 2017 also, I'm interested in knowing about the data for quarter 3. So as you can see that this option is still on, drill mode is on. Now I will again simply click on quarter 3. So you can see that in quarter 3, since we have the data for these 3 months, so it further drilled down to these 3 months. And here you can see that along the horizontal axis, the year is written, then quarter is written, and then we have these different months. Now let's say in this particular quarter as well, I want to know about the data for September. I further want to drill down. So I can simply click on September and then it will show you the sales data for all the dates in September, right? Now let's say we want to drill up. So we can simply click here on drill up, then again drill up, and it brought you back to the same view that we had in the beginning. Now I will simply unselect this option to drill down. So we will simply change this drill mode to off. Now, there is one more option that you can see at the top. So it says go to the next level in the hierarchy. As of now on the screen, you can see sales data for 2014, 2015, 2016 and 2017 years. If I'll click on this option, that is go to the next level in hierarchy. So it will show you data for different quarters. But if I will specifically talk about quarter 1, then this quarter 1 shows the combined data for the quarter 1 of all the 4 years that we had in the data. Right? If I will again click on it, it will bring you down one level down in the hierarchy. So now if let's say talk about January, then this January here is representing the sales for all 4 years, right? While when we used this particular drill down option, so we drilled down in a given year, right? So for that given year, we were able to drill down. But if you will use this option that is being used now, that is go to the next level in the hierarchy, then here in this case, if I'll talk about January, then this January column is representing the sales for all the 4 years that we had, combined for all the 4 years. If I'll further drill down, Then if I consider any date, let's say I consider this date, order date 1. So here, this date 1 is representing these sales for this particular date combined for all the different years, right? So this is the difference between these two drill down options. When we were using this drill down option, that is being represented or highlighted on the screen now, that is click to turn on drill down. This will take you down one level down in a given particular year. But if you will use this option, that is, as of now, it is showing on the screen at the lowest level of the data, then this will show you, this will bring you down in the hierarchy, but the data will be clubbed for all the years. So this is the difference between these two options that you should know. And since now we further want to drill up, so we can just simply click on drill up, drill up, drill up, and it brought you back to the original view. So this is also one of the functionality that you should be aware of. Now let's talk about the combined chart. So here we have the column chart that we have created. And let's say for this column chart, we also want to have column legends as in, since it is a stacked column chart. So anyways, we can show the data for different categories as well. So maybe for different categories or different segments. So let's say I want to further show the data for different segments as well on this chart. So I will simply double click on this segment field under the data pane and will drag and will drop it here in column legend. So now you can see that for each year, we further have a division of the data, sales data at segment level. So if I hover the mouse any particular area, like for example, as of now, you can see on the screen that for year 2017, this orange color segment for 2017 is representing the segment home office, and the total sales is 159,462.73, right? If I simply hover the mouse to some other area, let's say here, so you can see that the sales is being shown for corporate segment and for year 2015. So now we have created a stack column chart, and we have also created this sort of chart in the previous sessions. So this is the same chart, but the difference in this chart you'll come to know about that when we will be adding some other numerical field to the line y-axis bucket. So now let's add profit field to line y-axis bucket, and let's see what happens. So now you can see that here you have two charts combined or clubbed in one chart. You can see that a stacked column chart is also present, and along with this stacked column chart, we also have a line chart in the same chart only. Now let's talk about formatting this chart. All right. So having this particular chart selected, you can see that here we have a common x-axis for profit that is being represented along the vertical axis on the right hand side that you can see here, and also for the sales which is being represented along the vertical axis on the left hand side. So both of them, the column chart and the line chart, are having same x-axis, that is years or the dates are represented along the horizontal axis for both. But profit is being represented for the line chart on the right hand side, while sales is represented for the column chart on the left hand side. So that is the difference that you can see. Now let's format this chart. First of all, we want to remove the grid line. So having this chart selected, I will click here on format your visual option. Then I will further change this grid lines to off, horizontal as well to off, and vertical as well to off. And let's say for this particular chart, we do not want to add a border, but we do want to add a shadow. So under this general effects, we can change this shadow to on, and maybe we can change the color of the shadow as well if you want to. So instead of black, you can choose, let's say, gray. All right. And this is a chart that we have created, right? And let's say we also want to change the titles along the vertical axis. On the left hand side, that is for sales, and on the right hand side, that is for profit both. So having this particular chart selected, I will further resize it. Having this particular chart selected, I will simply click here on your format your visual option, and under this y-axis is for column chart. We will change the title, and this is written auto here. So if you want to change the title, so you will have to simply click here on add data to your visual, and you can simply rename it from here, column y-axis. So double click on it, and instead of sum of sales, we just simply want to write sales. So we can write sales. You can see that the title has changed along the vertical axis on the left hand side. That is for the column chart. Now, if you similarly want to change the name for the vertical axis on the right hand side, that is for the line chart. So you can just simply click here on sum of profit in the line y-axis bucket, and you can further rename it from here. So instead of sum of profit, let's name it as profit. All right. And along the horizontal axis or x-axis, we do not want a title. So having this chart selected, just simply click on Format Your Visual, x-axis, and change this title to off. Let's say we want to format the values represented along the horizontal axis. So expand this values. Let's change it to maybe black. And you can further increase the size, and maybe you can keep it bold. So you can see that dark colored ears are now being represented along the horizontal axis. Also, let's say we want to format the values written along the vertical axis. So first of all, let's talk about the column chart. So under this y-axis for values, let's change it to black. Let's further increase the size. All right. And similarly for the values represented along the secondary y-axis, that is for the line chart. Under this, first of all, change this values to on. And you can further change it to black and further increase the size. All right. Fine. So that's how we can represent the insights using a stack column chart and a line chart. If you further want to format it, let's say you want to add markers to the line chart. So having this chart selected, you can further click on Format Your Visual. You can change the markers to on, and you can further increase the size for the markers. And maybe you can change the color as well if you want to. And if you do not want to change the color, let it be as it is. For the line, if you want to change the color, you can further change the color from here. So let's say we want to keep it maybe gray. So you can choose that color as well. And apart from that, you can also select the type of the line. So here, as of now, linear is selected. You can choose a smooth as well. So it will be a smooth line, or you can also choose a step. So the chart is going to look something like this. I think smooth will be fine. So that's right. And all right. And maybe let's say for the stack column charts, we want to change the colors for each of the segments. So under this columns, we can further choose from this series. We can choose a different segment, and we can change the color that is representing that segment. So first of all, let's talk about consumer. And let's say we want to choose this color. And then let's say for corporate, we want a different color. So let's keep it orange and light colored. And let's say for home office, we want a separate color. So maybe you can choose purple. All right. So we can further maybe change for corporate, and we can choose this color. You can choose any other color of your choice. This is just to give you an example. So, all right, it looks comparatively better. And for home offices, we can have maybe this color. All right. So this is how you can format the visual or the combined chart that you have created. So here we have created a line and a stacked column chart. Now let's talk about creating a line and clustered column chart. So there can be two ways of creating a line and a clustered column chart. We can create a line and a clustered column chart in the same way we have created line and a stacked column chart. We just need to select line and clustered column chart in the place of line and stack column chart. But there is one way in which we can create in that way from scratch. And also, if we want to replace this line and stack column chart by a line and clustered column chart, then we can do that as well. So having this particular chart selected, I will simply, as of now, you can see that this icon is selected, line and stack column chart. If I'll click on line and clustered column chart, it will simply get converted into a line and clustered column chart. If you want to change the data labels to on, you can further change it to on as well. So having this particular chart selected, I will simply click here on Format Your Visual. And once you have selected this visual, you can change this data labels to on. So for all the different categories, these values will be represented. So that's how this was one way of creating a line and clustered column chart using a line and stack column chart. And we can create it from scratch as well. So in the next video, we will create a line and clustered column chart from scratch only, right? So let's change this chart to line and stack column chart only. So having this chart selected, I'll again click on add data to your visual, and I will further change it back to a line and stack column chart. So this is one of the combined charts that we have discussed, and we are going to discuss about the second combined chart in the next video. I hope this video was helpful. We'll meet in the next